Fantastic to have your company for another Corona Post show here at the Margaret River Pro Stock 4 on the 2021 Championship Tour schedule. And what a day it was. A fantastic opening day. Big conditions and the world's best tested. Ronnie Blakey with Richie Lovett and Laura Enovar. Rich, you said during the day that the competitors probably wouldn't be that frightened out there. And then Jack Robinson, I had a chat to him. He said he was petrified out there, and Italo was screaming, it's massive, and he was freaking out. But yeah, it was a good test for them.
It was a great test, and that's exactly what we want when we come to Margaret River. We want these big, open, really gnarly conditions, and that's exactly what we got here today. And yeah, perhaps I underestimated a bit in the safety of the booth. And I think Jules went through 2 boards in that one heat, so he's made me eat my words. Yes, it was extremely big out there today, and our surfers confirmed it.
Yeah, well, I think there'll be a few competitors, you know, scrambling to find boards in case the swell does hang around. We know it's going to peak this afternoon, but a very happy spectator there.
Yeah, it's always good to give a souvenir, and Jules just getting the essentials off that board, the fins and the leash, because he's going to need that for tomorrow. And I hope he's got another couple of board bags full of those step-ups, because I think this swell's probably going to hang around overnight, and there's going to be some decent-sized waves tomorrow as well.
Laura, you were a lot closer to the action than we were. Did you feel the power out there? You know, what were some of those bigger sets like?
Yeah, I was only out there this morning when the women were out, and then I handed over to Dimity when the... oh, wow, Kaya right here. A bomb.
Oh, my goodness. This is the free surf. Is this just after the event? Oh, no.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. He got on the wrong side of the lip there.
Crazy. Yeah,
that was hectic.
I handed over to Dim, and she went out for the boys on the back of the ski, and it just got double the size. And even when I was out there, I fell off the back of the ski and had to swim through one, and I was like, you know, watch the girls all bailing on the inside, but you know, they all copped it like champions.
That was unbelievable. Kaya's going to get blasted into the actual river here at Margaret's. That was a hectic way to finish the day for him.
Well, do you know, it's actually a smart move. I think it's
really smart.
No, in that he's got a heat tomorrow. So if he goes out there now and tackles these conditions as they are, and it does drop a foot or two, he's going to feel really comfortable in the morning. I like his theory. I'm back.
It'll be interesting to see how he goes with no legs, Rich. He just got completely blasted here.
Hopefully he stayed in one piece, and so did his board. But have a look at this. That is a huge wave. So that, I mean, without a doubt, it was a 20-foot face.
Cockroach
and,
on it.
You know, that is real Hawaiian-style conditions. And I had a look down towards the southern end and some of the big bomboras out there, 15 to 20 foot, no doubt.
Maxing. There was plenty of highlights. Obviously, some big wipeout surfers wearing huge sets on the head. But John, Florence, Laura, again, just proving that when it comes to Margaret River, he is the guy to beat. Putting a 10-point ride on the board, the first we've seen this season.
No, that was absolutely incredible. John back here for his masterclass. There he goes. Incredible wave, 10-point ride. It was hands down to 10. I'm not sure. One judge gave him a 9.8, but it was a 10. It was crazy.
Yeah, and finished this one off too, Rich. Jack Robbo made the comment that typically the barrel rides here at Margaret River aren't that long. But this was an interesting one for us, Rich. We felt this one could have gone to the excellent run.
Yeah, look, that rail turn there, I just don't know if anyone else in the field can match him. And then he does it again a second time, backs it up. That was a huge score. And it only came in around the 7-point mark. I reckon there was another 1.5 in it.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. But John Florence, you know, his numbers here, they were already impressive. That was excellent heat number 13 for him here at Margaret River. 52% of the time that he competes out here, he's putting up excellent heat scores.
No one else has that record, and just knowing that every time he tips his toe in the water at Margaret River, he's going to come out with at least 18, 19 points. It really is remarkable, and it must be sending shivers for anyone who's going to come up against him in this event.
Yeah, Laura, and his first 10-point ride, I feel like in the past, you know, he's been really scored against himself. There's been restraint in the scale only because of what he is capable of, and today they just couldn't deny him.
Totally. I mean, you couldn't deny that. He took off and it was a bomb of the day. The other 2 boys in the heat didn't want a bar of it, and then he just swung and just, yeah, absolutely blew us all away. But, yeah, in the past, you know, he's obviously come out of the gates firing, doing the craziest carves and turns. So it's cool to see him finally get that 10.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Where to now, though?
Well, I don't know, 11, 12. we got to find some more room in the scale. That second score is going to have to come up. But Carissa Moore, the other Hawaiian world champion in the draw on the women's side, she was fantastic again. She's won this event in the past, and she just has that power with those big rail turns that are also going to always fetch her those big numbers. It looks like a completely different day when you compare it to this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say it doesn't even look like it was today. But this is earlier in the day as the swell was just starting to show. And before that, the rain squall, the never-ending rain squall happened this afternoon. But check out Carissa here. Just look at the speed, look at the rail work, look at the commitment to each turn, all that power. And the Hawaiians just really showing their domination today.
Yeah, that was just a composed performance. We know Carissa has another gear that she can go to, and I think she'll find it as she moves through this contest, especially when conditions get a little cleaner here at main break. Well, John Florence on the men's side always puts up good numbers here. Another server that's got a fantastic track record. When you look at the statistics, is Julian Wilson. He's down with Stace.
Yeah, thanks, Ronnie. Julian, a bit of a tricky afternoon at the office, but it's got to feel good to come off one board straight into the highest score of the heat.
Yeah, really happy with that heat. I had a pretty key decision to make there. After my first wave, I got a 5, and then I took one under priority, and I think I really buckled my board on that takeoff on my next wave under priority. And I didn't notice until I got priority again, and I was sitting out the back, and I was just put my hands on my rail, and I could feel it was cracked on either side of my bum. I was like, uh-oh. Had a look, and it was creased all the way through and around the rails. I almost waved to Ant-Man to be like, take me in, I got to get another board, but then I was like, I'm not going to give Fred an opportunity here while I got priority. So it was probably one of my better waves that I caught, but I couldn't barely surf it, my 4.9. But to come in with 4.9 and then get on another board, and then obviously I got in a good rhythm with that 7, ended up being a key decision in that heat. It's good.
Yeah, certainly. It's amazing you guys can make those decisions when you're also in survival mode out there. Biggest waves you've surfed in a heat for a while?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so nice to be in some juice and proper waves, and we had some fun waves on the East Coast, but we're into some real waves now, and forecast looks great, and yeah, really happy with that heat.
Well done, mate. We look forward to seeing you the rest of the event.
Thanks, Stace. Cheers.
Julian getting things back on track. Solid performance from him, and I mentioned that he's not too far behind John. There is quite a bit of a separation, but when you look at Julian's numbers compared to the rest of the field, he's a cut above as well. So predicting that he'll go on to have a pretty solid finish in this contest as well. But let's dive into it. The Boost Mobile wave of the day. Can't get enough of this vision. John Florence's 10-point ride. Drink it in. It's something special.
Yeah, well, it was one of the longest tubes I think we've ever seen out here at the Margaret River main break. And right off the backdooring that section there, driving through. Right there is where we thought maybe he's not going to make it. And then he pops out the end. And he wasn't finished there, just takes on that big foam section and pounds the end of that wave. Another angle here, just slides right in, nice and high. Has to stay super high in that barrel to find the line. And as John said, Ron, that thing was gurgling inside. It was almost like it was breathing, warbling, doing all these weird things. And he was able to just thread the needle so perfectly. And you could see he was pretty stoked. Doesn't keep us guessing too much with his bodily emotions. Don't really see too much of it, but you could tell he was stoked.
Yeah, he was definitely surprised that he found his way through that one and finished it off beautifully. We'll stay with us after the break. We'll have a look at the Surfline forecast. And Dimity's been down there in the Red Bull Athlete Zone, terrorising our competitors once again. Time to dive into the forecast here at Margaret River. Thanks to Surfline Rich. Plenty of action this afternoon and more to look forward to tomorrow.
Absolutely. Have a look at the size of that low down there, producing that big purple blob that's just starting to pass under the Australian bite there, but it's produced all that big long period chunky swell that we saw today. That's going to keep going all through the night. It'll start tapering off tomorrow, but we're still going to have exceptional conditions tomorrow, 8 to 14 feet. And then on Tuesday, as we get into the week, it's going to taper off, but then kicks back up again as we go later into the week, Thursday, Friday. So lots of swell on the way. We're not going to be wave-starved in this event, that's for sure.
Laura, you spent the last couple of years just monitoring those Surfline forecasts so closely. Is it nice to see those big purple blobs, knowing that you don't have to go out there and tackle it?
I mean, it's bittersweet. I mean, I'm loving watching everyone. And just like Julian said in his post-heat interview, he's just so excited to see such an incredible forecast for over here. So, I mean, there's swell around the whole of Australia right now, but so good to be down here in Southwest Oz and have some epic waves.
Yeah, we're lapping it up. Dimity Store's been having a great time out there in the lineup, bringing us her observations from the channel, but also getting back into that behind-the-scenes zone and really creating some magic. Let's see what she's got for us today.
Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Vai, Brasil.
How's your Portuguese?
Bom dia. Portuguese lessons, demand. Were you first out this morning?
Always. Forever. I'll take it to my grave. First out.
West is big leash.
Golf clap for Milky.
Good job, mate.
Yeah. Milky looking milky out there.
There's a lot going on out there, Jim. Yeah. There's a lot.
A lot
Absorbing, digesting.
You were tackling that out there. The legs are out. Oh my God, your foot too.
The worst one is this one, but it's fine. It's the surgeon's table.
I took off, I did the gnarliest takeoff you've ever seen. Went up and just went bang straight into the lift.
You're too powerful. This is a new look. Wetsuit, shoes, socks, new pants. Box champion. What do you prefer, box or main break?
Now I prefer.
Yes.
Gold, Dimity, and can't wait for more instalments as we move through the event window here and over at Rottnest, of course, as well, but always bringing the gold.
Love it. Those little behind-the-scenes snippets, and you get the guard seems to just drop when Dimity's around. It's a pretty special thing. It takes a good talent to be able to crack the surface of our pro surface, so it's great. Keep the good work up, Dimity.
Fantastic. Laura, today we saw some big wipeouts. You witnessed the majority of them from the lineup earlier on today, but it's the swell bumped up. The hit's got a little tougher. You almost took one yourself there.
Oh, man, I actually fell off the back of the ski and had to swim under one. But, yeah, it was good to see the girls, oh, my gosh, going absolutely mad on the inside. And then this Jadson Andre, oh, my gosh. He's going to have to book him for the chiropractor for the next week straight, I think, after that.
We got a free adjustment out in the lineup. We might have to pay for his next one. Reef Hazelwood took some big hits.
Oh, wow.
Have a look at this thing. Oh, that was high our belly at the end of the day.
Wipe out of the day.
Yeah, that's not the highlight reel that you're hoping to get here at Main Break, but you know, Kaio featuring heavily in the post show today.
It was actually funny. He was running down. I was sitting with Jake Patterson. He goes, his board's too small. And he just shook his head like that and just started laughing as Kaio ran down. So maybe he needs a bit longer board.
I think he'll make that adjustment as he hits the lineup for his next heat. Let's dive into our top 5 now. So many highlights to revisit. It started nice and early this morning with Amuro Suzuki, the first Japanese heat win that we've seen on the championship tour in over 20 years, Laura.
So incredible. And she picked up this left-hander on the inside at the end of the heat, and you know, look at it. She just does 2 massive cracks and got herself the highest scoring wave of the heat and just got straight into the lead and backed it up with another pretty good score and, yeah, won the heat.
Yeah, really tough heat on paper too, up against Caroline Marks, coming off an event win. Emily Manuel, who's desperately trying to get herself out of these earlier round heats and get some momentum back.
Yeah, real confidence booster for Amura, but yeah, at the same time, Malia Manuel, she's got some work to do. She really hasn't found any form in 2021 here. She really wants to start getting some results on the board and getting up into that final 5 conversation, but what a result here. This is a real confidence booster. She can take that through the event.
Gabriel Medina, I mean, hadn't featured in our highlights just yet, but there was a comfort in his performance out there, Laura. He just looks so strong.
Yeah, he's always looking so strong, just doing these massive backside cracks. It just looks like he's so just stuck on his board and just no wobbles for him at all.
In cruise control, really, Rich, just hammering down the freeway, heading towards another big result here.
Yeah, just look, he didn't get out of fourth gear, you know what I mean? And there was Gabriel and John and a couple of others, Cal. They really looked like, I mean, they're surfing 10 to 12 foot waves and they made it look like it was 4 to 6 foot waves. They had that much confidence in the way that they attacked every section.
Yeah. You started that bottom turn at the start of the waiting period, and you almost didn't make the waiting period by the time you finished it. I'm like, you're gonna miss Rottnest by the time you get to the top.
That's a long one.
How is that hole, man? You never cease to amaze me. 6-1.
Yeah.
Comic genius there from Andy King, who's been working with Gabriel Medina successfully through these last few events. And then we had, I think, what was the heat of the round on paper of this seeding round. Jacob Wilcox, Italo Ferreira, and of course Jack Robinson meeting. This early in the contest was a special treat for everyone on the beach.
It was an incredible heat. 3 surfers just in attack mode. And Italo was another one. We got to give him some credit. Looked really good today. And Jack Robinson just getting that big open face carve. Love the rail work there. And you can just see, look, he looks just so at home here, so relaxed out at Margaret River.
It lived up to the hype this heat, Laura, but Jacob Wilcox, again, reminding us that, you know, he might be the best surfer not on the championship tour at the moment. He just looks so comfortable against these big names.
Yeah, honestly, he had more length in his board, and I just feel like he just looks so comfortable. Obviously, the local boys winning the trials, getting through, was, you know, an amazing heat for the local crowd. They were just going nuts, but would have been good for them to get the 2 boys through, but I think Jacob was incredible.
Yeah, that is a massive result for him. He grew up in this area, so at main break or the box, it doesn't matter where we're going to be running heats. He's going to be a serious danger man. Next up, we saw career best waves for Ryan Callanan and Matthew McGilvray. This, almost a 10-point ride, 2 turns.
I feel like it should have been a 10. I just don't know whether there was anything else he could have done on that wave. It was a set wave, 2 incredibly critical turns. And Matty McGillivray, he put in an amazing performance as well. The best performance we've seen from him on the tour so far.
Oh, he got really bashed around on the East Coast, Laura. 2 elimination round losses. So to put 2 excellent numbers up over here in this opening round of competition is going to do wonders for his mindset.
So epic.
Performances in 2017.
And then he's back again, John Florence here. He just owns all the highlights today, and for good reason. Just well positioned out here. He just has a comfort level here at main break that's unrivaled.
It is quite incredible to watch this man attack these waves, and it really is a masterclass. There's no other way to put it. He surfs this wave better than anyone, and just have a look at the rail work here. So kids, take note. This is how you do a 4-hand rail carve. Holds onto it, comes out with so much speed and acceleration, slashing again, just waves of consequence. He's playing with it, and he is setting the benchmark for the whole field.
Yeah, almost need to get the laser on him and just check that speed through those frontside carves, just accelerating so hard. He doesn't wash any speed off, Laura, on the bottom turn, and sometimes he actually does a shallower bottom turn to get that speed through the top turn. It's just incredible.
Honestly, I don't get it.
Yeah, fair enough. It's hard to comprehend at times, and yeah, he's moving at a pace that, you know, other surfers have to get to, Rich. Once they meet him in a heat, in a head-to-head situation, I think it's going to be even more obvious. You can't shoot for second place in a head-to-head heat.
No, he's going to expose everyone, especially if it stays this size, and he does get that open face to work with. He's going to be really hard to stop, and I feel like it's only going to be, you know, Julian and Gabriel and perhaps Italo and maybe an Arcal. It's those big, strong surfers that are going to be able to maybe match him with a more critical approach, but certainly that carve, I mean, you can't help but pay it.
Let's talk about the elimination round heats quickly on the women's side. Some big names falling into those heats, Laura. Stephanie Gilmore is the biggest. She had a pretty poor start here at Margaret River today.
Oh man, poor Steph. She just got set after set after set on the head. She was basically on the inside the whole time, poor thing. And you know, she's not happy to be in this round, but obviously same with Malia. Both of those girls so incredible in bigger waves as well. Malia especially surfing out the box yesterday. If they ran there, she'd be ready to go. But Willow obviously got a wave at the end of her heat there and showed what she could do. So it's a good heat.
She could be really dangerous in that heat. A lot of experience here at main break, being a local. Courtney Conlog, she's going to be hard to overcome for Keely Andrew and Sage Erickson. They didn't have their best on show today, but they're definitely capable of something special. So we'll see if they can bounce back, guys. Thanks for joining me on the Corona Post Show. Should we do it again tomorrow?
Let's do it.
It's looking like a fantastic forecast. We'll leave you with some incredible highlights from today. Check in bright and early tomorrow morning to see if we get competition back underway.
I don't wanna run away. I don't have the strength to stay. Must be weak 'cause I can't hold on to dawn.
Steph Gilmore's got to ditch the equipment.
Has taken over me.
Tyler looking good, looking strong. There's that layback hack.
Sally Fitzgibbons up now. Nice hook off the top.
The Southwest swell is continuing to get bigger and bigger. Aggressive hack from Igarashi. Times the end section. Felipe with a ton of speed on this wall sets that rail beautifully.
John Florence, he wants to get barreled, folks. He is.
There was no arguing with this one. John Florence, extremely barreled. The first 10-point ride of the season.
Well, no one does it better than John. It is just the pure essence of power surfing.
Cold wind blows me down the track.
Geordie, big layback jam. Finds a little bit of cover. Beautiful carve to finish that ride off. Oh, have a look at this thing. Jadson Andre. That was a huge wave and he went down.
Nice tight backhand jam. Tina will just take a step off a huge section.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.